Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Heroes for the Nintendo GameCube. Last time, we made a start with Team Chaotix's extra missions, but now things are going to start getting quite long. I mean, this one isn't too bad, but yeah, things are going to start getting pretty lengthy after this one. So let's start with something that's relatively simple, Grand Metropolis. Now in the first run, it took 7 minutes for me to do it. So I'm going to try and do that again because it's actually a time attack. Clear out the enemies within 8 minutes. So, we've really got to make sure you know where those enemies are now.
Here's your next mission. Destroy all of Eggman's robots holding the city. Have to destroy them all within a time limit.
That was not how I planned to get that level up, but anyway. So yeah, this is our first time attack with Team Chaotix. 1 of 4, I believe. But for the most part, these time attacks are pretty generous, though there is one major exception. So it's pretty much, well, we've seen this before, but this is... There goes that level up. I needed that for Vector. So we saw this before with Team Sonic. It's pretty much the same thing here, only we actually have to destroy the robots now instead of simply getting to the end of the level. Although I guess the placement of the last 2 robots is the end of the level anyway. So for this, you know, you're going to want to level up each team member as fast as you can. I've already failed Vector. Well, not really, but it's going to take longer for me to level up Vector now, unless... amazingly, every enemy decides to give me a power formation one, which it does tend to do quite often with any formation. I seem to find myself getting fly formation ones the most frequently. Oh look, there's 2 of them right there. There we go, Vector is fully leveled up. I had to say something, didn't I? I clearly saw 2 a moment ago. I don't know where the other one's gone. Just don't waste time going for the ones that are just going to take a while like that. I'm going to have to open the door and everything. There's no point. There was definitely 2 power cores there, so where'd the other one go? Charmy didn't react to the dash pad properly. We were supposed to go through the ring, Charmy. You've had 1 job. But then again, we don't know exactly how much they get paid for all this. Like, they're a detective agency. And at in the little thing before the start of the level, in story mode, Vector will say, how else are we gonna make the rent? So they obviously need to pay the rent at some point, which isn't actually mentioned at the start of their story. Yeah, that's something that... Okay, SPO grabbed that from the side. He's not even touching it. And that's something that just comes up later. There's no point in me being invisible. Right, I'm going a bit slowly here. Oh, hello. I think I might have used that at the wrong time. Let's try with these guys. Hey, why didn't he give me rings? Just don't bother with the cannon. At any point with these, don't bother with the cannon. Just keep going. I ignored the dash ring. We've fully leveled up SBO. We have no reason to go down there. So this isn't really one of those time attacks where losing all your levels upon dying is really going to fail you. Though I wouldn't recommend dying too many times, but of course if you're on the A rank, I just plain don't recommend dying, because you're not going to make it. But if you miss a robot, well, unless he's one of those 4 right at the beginning of the level, you're done for. You're not going to win. And again, failing these missions does cost you a life. I think Adventure 2 did that as well, where if you failed the mission, not only were you sent back to the start, you were greatly punished even more. As if starting the level wasn't punishment enough. You lost a life, and that happens here. I'm trying to think what the other time attacks are. There's both the stealth missions, so Frog Forest and Egg Fleet, their time attacks. As well as Rail Canyon. And as I've already said, it's a really strict time limit in Rail Canyon. So that mission is going to take... Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that mission takes quite a few attempts. Getting the A rank isn't the problem. It's just getting to the end of the level in the first place is the problem. I always really like getting in the air. You can just see the robot parts raining down. Time wasting! I don't know, maybe this is just loading the rest of the level, I don't know. Because I think that's there for every team, isn't it? I think there might be one exception, I don't remember. No, subtitles, he clearly said I'll hand... That just makes me laugh every time, because it's so... Sonic Heroes has the worst subtitles of any Sonic game. That's saying something, because the subtitles in many Sonic games are pretty bad. Like, there's often quite a lot of grammar errors. I think they've improved with the modern games. But before then, they were practically everywhere. And, this is easily the worst of them. Yeah, we'll occasionally get the odd grammar error somewhere, like a missing an apostrophe. Yeah, firstly, grade A English there. But there's so much of it here to the point where there are completely different lines. It's like, how do you get how do you get leave this to me from I'll handle it? Just how do you do that? They didn't bother correcting it either. They decided, you know what, let's just leave that in. Which is... That's the simplest thing to improve upon, isn't it? A little bit of text. I classify that as even worse than that mistake in Sonic 06 where Agent Shadow. E123 Omega has engaged Mephiles. Head to the Wave Ocean. Head to the Wave Ocean? Agent Shadow. E123 Omega has engaged Mephiles. Head to Wave Ocean immediately. That is a simple bit of editing. And so was that bit of text. Bad enough when it's a bit of grammar, but at the very least something like an apostrophe can be easily missed. That isn't. That's a completely different line. Where even the smallest words are not shared within those lines. But anyway, power plant. And thus begins the long ones. I mean, Seaside Hill can be quite long, but this I think is where it really begins. Defeat all 5 gold turtle robots. Even the game doesn't call them Camerons, only the official guide does. It's weird.
Here's your next mission. Find and destroy 5 of the gold turtle robots who control the city.
I don't think it is, considering that I just got hit by the first enemy in the level. It's a good thing it gave me rings. Well, the enemy didn't, but it's a good thing I had rings. So the regular mission for this level isn't too bad. This mission, however, can be, because power plant is pretty long. We're practically going through the same level we did with Team Sonic and Team Dark. So let's get that power core. We're going through the same level we did with Team Sonic and Team Dark, and then we pretty much stopped just before... Right. And we stopped just before we get to the energy storage tank. How did that work? Vector, it's right there. And these gold turtles can become very spread out. The first 3 are all relatively close to each other, which is fine for the normal mission. But then you're playing through like the entire level again. Since power plant practically repeats itself. You know, let's do this the legitimate way. Unless well no, I don't want to build up my Team Blast because of... So this is how you're supposed to get into that. I did the Team Blast last time in the wrong place. Because they're usually in cases, you just got to break the case, but the method of doing so can vary from case to case. So now we can do that. Now we can do this one the Team Blast way, because this one is absolutely horrible. And still, I think it's just the numbered target rather than a specific target. Just hit 4 of them and I think that opens it. I don't think it matters which 4. I don't think it's a specific switch. 4 or 5 of them, that's all you need. You don't need to get absolutely all of them. For instance, let's just see what happens. Let's knock these 2 down. I guess it is a specific switch. I don't know, maybe it's random every time, I don't know. Trying to ruin my point, but hey, the game gave me 1,000 points there, so I shall not complain. And a Team Blast. I mean, that's only 400 points, but still. I kind of wish the Team Blast one was worth a bit more. And considering you get the better price for it, and it's a bullseye. Can they give me like a 800 points? If everything else is 400 and the Team Blast, the life is 1,000. Why not give me the one in between? Yeah, give me that one. The 800. Alright, and our third gold turtle is just down here. I'm just going to ignore the regular camera that's down there and skip it and just head straight over here. You know, once again, I may as well show off how you're supposed to get these legitimate ways. You know, even though generally what I'll use is Team Blast. You know, I have it. These guys are annoying. But that's how you get to that. And I believe their shots, well, we've seen their shots can go through walls. So I doubt that's going to be any sort of exception. So that's how you're supposed to get it. You go down there, there's a switch. You have to down the cage first. And then the switch will just stay in place. So we got through those 3 pretty quickly, which helps with the story. Hey! I saw that dash ramp. It's so pointless. Because this is a weird one. Thankfully, I don't think it repeats the entire level. I don't play Power Plat that often, so my memory on it is a bit hazy, but yeah. Watch out for the robots when you're on your way down, but you can jump straight down. And just do all this again. I think it's got the same layout as Team Sonic. But it's a weird little trick they do. Yeah, it's the exact same layout as Team Sonic. What's really weird though is that you have to do this for the second one. Like the next turtle is down one of those lifts, but you have to jump down to get it. Which is something that the game sort of discourages you from doing in the first place. So why do it there? I mean, I'm sure that's the trick, but still. Woo! Pointless flowers. I mean, I think that leads to like a dash ramp, a dash hoop, but I'm gonna go this way. Because I'm playing and that's how I want to do it, Sega. Don't control the way I play the game, just make the game. Or whatever Sega themselves actually do. I mean, Sonic Team is part of Sega, but Sonic Team is the one that makes the game. Which is a shame, because so many people say Sega can't make games anymore. Yes, they can. And the fact is that it's Sonic Team that make the games. I'm sure there are plenty of other people involved from Sega. I don't think Sonic Team consists of absolutely every single department. I could be wrong. Like the quality testing. The ones that really... well, I'm pretty sure the quality testers do what they're supposed to do. It's just the developers ignore them. Because Sega just don't give them enough time. And that's the issue. Sega just don't understand timing. Which thankfully they're getting better with. They delayed Fire and Ice. They delayed Sonic Mania. Cancel your pre-orders now, PC users. Well, at the time of this recording, the PC version isn't out yet. The console version is. And Well, nobody's watching this video, so I may as well just say Sonic Mania is great. It's not the best Sonic game, I would say. It does lack in a few areas, but other than that, Sonic Mania is a great time. I don't think it quite competes with Sonic 2 or 3, but it's pretty damn good. See, once again, the game discourages you. There are many times where it can easily trick you into thinking that that flower is just going to take you to the end of the level, and then it turns out it doesn't. So yeah, there's our turtle. At the very least, the game does somewhat give you a better clue that you can actually jump down here now. Oh, now I already have a team back. And you hit the switch, and now we actually do have to try and fly our way back to the top. The balloons can sometimes ruin where you're going though. I'm not going to bother going after them. Vector can take the fire for me. Vector, you can breathe fire when you're at level 2. I'm pretty sure Vector is actually a Komodo dragon. Actually, no, Komodo dragons do not breathe fire. He's just a dragon. So that was actually that dragon that we fought in Sonic and the Black Knight. Well, the second one, the big one, is obviously the Bio-Lizard's alter ego. The Bio-Lizard's version. So even Sonic mentions that. But the first one we fight in the first level, that must be Vector. It's not like we see him anywhere in the game, so that must explain it. Oh no. But never mind, this should end the stage. In 8 minutes that took. This level is pretty damn long. As far as I'm aware, there's no way of getting Team Chaotix into the energy storage tank. I don't think you can go that fast. Survey says 54,770 is an A rank. Awesome, totally awesome. Does indeed begin with an H army. 10 more to collect to complete game. Sort of. 10 more emblems, 10 more A ranks. But I sense dark times ahead, because next up we have what can potentially be the longest mission in the entire game. Casino Park, Team Chaotix, extra mission. And another long one after that. Oh boy. Well, I will see you guys then.